Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you guys. This is going to be a recording today because I'm in Dubai and internet situation here is sometimes a bit difficult. Streaming doesn't always work from a trading view perspective. So I decided to do a video today with the weekly overview and post it on YouTube so everybody can see it, and hope that you guys are going to have a really great trading week after that, straight after. It's Monday morning, 10 October, time to trade the markets. In Dubai, it's 11 o'clock, but I know in London, we have 3 hours time difference. It's still early, and we are going to get started. So I'm just going to run over the different Forex pairs in a row. So NZD is one of the pairs that has been dropping since last Thursday. We are in a downtrend. I have to get used a little bit back to the normal charts, which is where I, for now, will keep working on the Monday session. This might change in January because we are trading with Renko for the Infinity Timeless, and we are working with the beta group to actually have a new trading strategy or an additional trading strategy for Infinity, the Infinity Timeless strategy. And it's on Renko charts, so it looks very different. We are not using all the entry lines, major and minor trend lines that we normally use in this strategy. The cloud looks a lot different as well. So things are different, and they are made in a way for you to just follow the trend. So that's going to be very nice. Of course, it's the same as on the normal candlesticks, but it takes a bit of the noise away. More about that in January or closer to Christmas, because it's going to be launched for everybody to see and work with in January. And we are with the beta group now, working on the software, making adjustments, asking feedback to different people. Some are beginners, some are advanced, to make the right software for everybody. So back to the normal charts. Of course, here we see that the major minor trend are both down. The entry line is red as well, and the CCI is minus 110. Now, this is really good. Means that there is currently more sellers than buyers in the market, and this can push further down. Now, how much further we can see with pivot levels, and they have not opened up yet. So there's no space yet. -2 should be the next ultimate support level. So there is a chance of this dropping another 40 pips today. It's also good to see what it did for about 5 days. And you see last week, the market has the same opening point as the same closing point. So it went up and it went down, but at the end, it didn't really move much. So is this a pair that's in a strong downtrend? If you look to last week, not really. But in general, NZD has been falling. So it's been falling as well on NZD CAD. And also here, Pivots is telling us we are in the oversold area under ultimate support or close to ultimate support. And that's not the right moment to trade. But this pair, 5 days ago, was a little bit higher. So it had at the end a lower close than the start of last week. Well, I heard from a lot of traders last week was a difficult week to trade. So it depends, of course, on your strategy. AUD also been dropping a lot. And also here, over the last week period, it was a clear downtrend, but the market went up first, then went sideways, and it started only to drop Thursday and Friday, where Friday here you see we were, for our feeling, already at the bottom on ultimate support level until it opened up all the way at the end of the Friday. So Thursday here is actually the only trade that you could try to take. Maybe here you had a trade, but if you try to go all the way to ultimate support, might have been stopped out if your stop loss is on the other side of the cloud. And this was a good trade that actually went to its target. Now, Friday, as I said, difficult to trade, and at this moment also difficult to trade already in the oversold markets. Now, when pivots open up or switch to the downside, these pairs are going to become sellable in their downtrend. Now, also here, AUD CAD already opened up a few hours ago and tells us that there is currently about 20 pips towards ultimate support. That's a short-term trend. In this weekly overview, I'm trying to get more of what the trend could be for multiple days. So we can use an arrow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here was the start of last Monday. This was the Friday, which here we see is that there is a good market opportunity to go down further this week, but also not really a high amount of pips, especially if it becomes so quickly down. We can go about 20 pips more down, then maybe go up again. And if it keeps the same speed as last week, it's not going to be much pips. So this over the whole week did 100 pips. So it means it's quite a sideways market for AUD CAD. Even though it's good to know that you don't have to buy. Like in my strategy, we wouldn't buy this. This is only selling opportunities. So for now, that's all down. Here we had some ideas 2 weeks ago that the market could go up. It went up, but not that much. And last week we had 2 opportunities, or it would continue to go up, or it would do the opposite on the downside. I remember drawing those arrows as well, and it went even a little bit deeper than that. So for this, you don't need the pivot levels. Sometimes it's easier to see without, and the market here started to turn around. So AUD NZD at the end had a slow drop from the start of the week to the end of the week. You see it's about the same distance towards the upside. Measure from here towards the upside is 68 pips, and this was 79. So let's say 70 and almost 80. So it went a bit further down than the speed of the chart would have been, 10 pips. And you see, of course, it made a drop and a recovery. But at the end, you can see if the market moves last week by about 80 pips, you can expect it to be about 80 pips this week again. Sometimes way more, sometimes less. But if it's a default market and nothing crazy happens, it mostly follows the speed of the chart towards the same side or towards the opposite side. Now, in this case, it was opposite side, and it ended up minus 80 pips instead of plus 70. Not continuing that trend. It did find support here on the major trend line, which is still an uptrend. And we're going to see, if you want to trade this, it will need to mean that it will break through the major trend line, make a retest on the major trend line, and then we are starting a downtrend. Till this time, it's an uptrend that we can't buy anymore because it made already lower highs. So here you have a high that's lower than that high. So it's not something we would want to buy anymore. We are waiting for this pattern here to switch to the downtrend and then start selling. Or it needs to go up, and then maybe at some point we can start buying again. But for now, not. Now, what I did is I put all JPY pairs together. That's a new thing. It has to do with infinity timeless. And the reason for this is that because the pip amounts on JPY are different calculations. As you guys know, it's not the 00 or 1 dot something. It's like 81 as a price, for example, on NZD JPY. So the JPY pairs, the pip count is 100 times bigger. And to give a good overview, if you're working with ATR, I decided to put them together. Now, it's also nice to put them together because you can here see, if you take the daily change, that they are all going down. So you see that those pairs are really related to the JPY move. Here, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The week itself didn't do much. And so this was the start of the week. This was the end of the week. So the week itself didn't do too much, but it moved really seriously up and then down again, telling us that even technically an uptrend on Euro JPY, major trend is up, and here minor trend was up. This was maybe even something that you guys catched if you're trading Infinity, because here it's green, green, green. Everything is green here on Tuesday, and it made a really nice ride. I remember one trader who catched a big part of this. So a very nice trade and the upside. After that, of course, nothing anymore for the rest of the week because the market started to recover. What to do today? I don't know yet. So basically for this week, if we look at pivot levels, there are 2 opportunities. Now, the sell opportunity I wouldn't take yet. It's a bit too early for me, but the major trend needs to be broken, retested on the major trend, and then we can maybe go down. or the market starts to recover first above pivot level and then only above pivot level, I would be interested to buy up to R6 or buy up to R8 where it hit before. So this is actually like not a trade that I would take. I don't know, I can make it orange or just delete it. So I would wait for the market to be above pivot level and then buy from pivot level to R6 or to R8. Other way also here, those two I don't want to do. I want to wait for the market to come down, retest, and then on the bottom of the major trend, even though it's not red yet, I'm happy to start selling. And then here, of course, are different target levels that pivots will give you as well. So that's going to be very interesting, but it is for later this week. It's definitely not something, as you see here, with those arrows mostly being quite in the right spot. We are talking here about Tuesday lunchtime to Tuesday end of the day before this can actually be a viable trade on the sell or the buy side. Gbp Jpy, they all kind of did a bit the same move last week. So they went up, they went down. Here people maybe said, okay, I want to go up further, but at the end you see here JPY, except Gbp Jpy right now, for about 1 pip going up. But in general, this is a very slow market still. This one is 64 pips, 30 pips, but here we see 1, 6, and 10 pips. It's very small. So small moves at the start of the day here. Hello. So nothing much to see. Now, USD JPY in general is going up. So maybe here we have a pullback now and then to continue grinding up. That is unclear. But it's very, very nice to see. If you hear, I need to move my own camera away from Zoom. So here, if you see, I have change moved on. So if you go to the settings, I have change and I have volume. So volume I use to see which ones are kind of the ones that have a little bit more volume than others, so that I know which ones are maybe having more buyers, more sellers today, and they have more opportunity, more volatility. That can be good. If it's too high, I don't go in. If it's too low, I don't go in. Now, where's the high and the low? It's constantly changing a bit, but I would say it shouldn't in the morning, shouldn't be below 50, 60K. So that in this case is the low. And if in the morning it's already 230K, that means that there's a lot of volume. There's almost no action, but still there's a lot of volume. So it went up, it went down, and now it's going up again. So it's a lot of pushing into no direction. So that is still very interesting. It means that like the pair is like charged up, it's loaded, and we will need to see it going one or the other way today. So that's what I use. And change, it's for the day, guys. So it doesn't matter which time frame you are, it's the change of today. So there I can very quickly see 61 pips, 21 pips, 8 pips, 12 pips, 27 pips. Here 150 pips. Gbp AUD moved 150 pips today up. Very, very serious move, and almost unclear why it goes so fast, so much, right? It's really, really big change. So you can use the percentage ways, but I like volume instead of the percentage of growth or drop, because it tells you from start to where we are now what the percentage growth is. So for example, here on Gbp Jpy, it would show a small percentage because it went up, down, up. So it doesn't really tell you in the change percentage what actually happened today, but it tells me that there was a lot of volume to look into this pair. So for me, change in pips to see how much we already moved today, and the vol in a certain direction, and the volume to see how much volume is loaded on that pair, how much already happened. Okay, so Euro pairs. Euro moves up. Euro AUD already also almost 100 pips to the spike. We have here green, green, green. So for the early birds under us, maybe you already bought, maybe the people that are in Australia and New Zealand. I know that you guys are also watching these videos. I really hope that Euro AUD, that you are able to catch the ride. Euro NZD looks like a really nice model, right? And pivot levels confirms that this might be my trade of the day if I look at it this quickly. I see a rise here, Euro NZD to strong resistance, and then next one to ultimate resistance. And if you look to the amount of pips, we are interested, right? This is like 70 pips and this is 200. Might take a few days, but that's like the nice thing about a swing trade or a trade during the week. Currently green candles, that's something that I don't like. So I would like to have red candles. I would like to have a green candle before I start, and preferably have CCI over 100. So plus 100 for the buy, minus 100 for the sell. So this is not yet there, and it's okay to miss the first part of the move if your CCI is not there yet, because it's better to jump in after we are in plus 100. Means that the buyers have basically the alone rights to push up the market. And then there's a lot more to go. So it should definitely not go below the zero line, which it did a bit this morning. So that would make me a bit hesitant, but I'm going to put a green ticker on this one. Wow, with the video you keep talking without breaks, right? There's no question. So I need to catch my breath for a bit, but Euro NZD definitely very, very nice pair for the day. Euro AUD maybe already got a bit too fast. I missed it because this is too early for me. It was not too early. I was already awake in Dubai time. But for trading time, this is still Asia session, and that's not the time I'm trading. So I hope someone else got that one. Euro CAD is dropping. Let me turn off the pivot levels for a minute. So what you can see here on Euro CAD is that we are now below the minor trend line. So it broke. It looks like a bit like retesting or just hanging around below it. That means that it can go down towards the major trend line. That's not something that many people sell, but I know a few who are. If you go to 15 minutes, this would be your major trend line. So then you are basically below it, and some people start selling already. Now, market's been moving up like this for a long time, so it can definitely make a bit of a drop. In my strategy on the 1 hour chart, it is not something I want to sell. Here you can see on the 15 minutes, you are below the major trend line. Minor is already red. Everything looks red. You can use pivots. I would more advise to do that on the 1 hour chart. But here you can see for 15 minutes, there's a 20 pips move. So if you see this video and this didn't happen yet, then there is about 22 pips to sell on Euro CAD. Again, for me on the 1 hour time frame, it's nice that it's there. It's about 50 pips even. So it's 20 to 50 pips that we can see a drop. But in my strategy, I'm not yet ready to sell. I do have a very, very large arrow here telling me that in another session, I was looking to a sell of this size. So I need to check if I even have a maybe long-term trade open that I was selling somewhere from last week, but on my personal account, I currently am not moving anything with Euro CAD. So I'm trading on multiple accounts, right? I have my own account, I have my coaching account together with coaching clients when they are booking a session with me. And I have corporate accounts where I have to stick to certain rules, where I sometimes have long-term strategies, sometimes short-term strategies. Mixing those is really, really difficult unless you put what I do in my schedule to really say, okay, today, right now, I'm trading with you guys on my personal account. If I would take a trade, I would open it there. When I have a coaching client, then I trade on my coaching account. So that's also pretty clear. And other moments I have to plan to say trading for company X, trading for company Y. I open that company account. I remember what's the strategy that I put on that account for myself, or I write down the strategy at the start. Of course, you remember, and you know what the rules are for that company account, and then you trade that company account. So I know that there were periods that I was trying to copy things towards each other. That is very, very difficult with different rules and with different pairs. Maybe even like some are not don't like CHF. Some of the other ones are okay with that. Now I don't really trade CHF anymore, but before I did, and then there was one company who said like, we don't like CHF. The leverage is not the same. It's more of an exotic pair kind of. And I was like, okay, so I can't copy anymore. So I started to use my calendar. My calendar looks wild. If people see my calendar, it looks wild. But it's just because I schedule absolutely everything. I schedule not only, hey, lunch with this person and dinner with that person. No, I'm really scheduling when to do what in my calendar. So I exactly know what to do and follow my schedule. It's kind of my to-do list in a calendar style. All right, Euro GBP. Let me. I really love pivots, but only to determine the exit, mostly the exit, where the take profit should be. Also, it can be the entry or disqualifying entry. But I like to also really turn them off because it looks so much more neat on the chart without them. Anyway, so that's the nice thing, you can turn them on and off. Euro GBP, technically uptrend, went here to major trend line last week, started to come out of it again. Now we have a very, very aggressive candle red at the opening here of the London session. Are we open yet? Yes, we are open for 22 minutes. So we are open and the market should start to grow till here and then till there. If it doesn't, it means that it's going to retest that major trend line again. So unknown if this is going to be a buy in the long run. At this moment, it is a uptrend. It was an old uptrend, and here I also see an uptrend. The question is just if it doesn't break this low level of Friday, and if we can still go up, then there could be a buying opportunity during the day and during the week. Last week at the end for 4 days was an uptrend. If you see here also Monday to Friday, almost nothing happened. So last week was just really, really difficult to trade. Now, very quickly, GBP. GBP is falling over the board, but today they are rising a bit. So here you see 12 pips, 28 pips, this 160 and 61 pips growing. But in general, we see here the major trend is down on GBP USD, which means that it's okay for today to be a bit of high volume, 200K, but it's also down, up, right? So a lot of volume, not much move yet, 13 pips from the opening of midnight. This looks like it's going to go down. And I don't know how far and I don't know how long. It's currently in the oversold area. So it means that there's currently no trade. But when that opens up again, from the current price, it's about 124 to the bottom of ultimate support, and after that there's so much more opportunity to the downside. So if that goes trending down again, make sure you're part of the game. GBP CAD, someone's calling, we'll pick up later. GBP CAD, let's do the same. Look for GBP to make a move, guys. Look for GBP to make a move. Here we have GBP AUD. That's a different story. It started to move up, and GBP NZD probably as well. Yes, they did. It's just because the NZD and the AUD have been falling that much. So in this case, you can see GBP USD moving up, GBP CAD moving up, but GBP AUD and NZD moving, sorry, otherwise, GBP USD and CAD moving up. Say it again. GBP USD and GBP CAD moving down, and GBP AUD and GBP NZD moving up. So it's basically GBP against Asia is going up, and GBP against Americas and area is going down. So that's possible. So before Brexit, GBP was kind of the main role in those GBP pairs, of course, 2 years ago. So we shouldn't keep hanging back on the past, but it was very easy to trade GBP because they would all technically move in the same direction because GBP was the major component of that pair. Now, GBP is kind of the component that really looks into trademarks towards east or towards west. So from that perspective, they are still following in two different pairs, the east and the west group. So that is something that you can always remember it on. They should move in the same direction though. So GBP AUD and GBP NZD, they should move in the same direction with GBP Jpy, and GBP CAD and GBP USD should move in the same direction with you as well when you're trading them. So I'm looking for GBP CAD, GBP USD to give us some clearance. I will move them with a red dot, both of them. I don't know if they will go down. But from weekly analysis perspective and the last 3-4 days, it can be that they continue to go down. They're not ready to sell. Don't hit sell buttons just because of this, but there is a very good chance that we can go into below the cloud, down major trend, minor will turn red as well. And then this can just keep going down for a couple of days, which is what we are looking for, right? What's the trend? So we're going to see about that. USD CAD very sideways. Of course, we made the dip and then the rise again last week, but from here to there, very sideways for 2 or 3 weeks. It's technically going up, but watch out. We have a double top here, and I don't know if it will go there again, if it will break. If it breaks, you are good to go. But if it's not breaking, we are a little bit in the dip, in like the reaching zone. So it can also easily dip here again. And those pips, guys, for the last periods, they are huge. So you can easily think that it could go further up, but see a dip of 200 pips. That is too aggressive. For me, when the trade is too far from the major trend line, more than 200 pips, it kind of disqualifies me as in too far in the trend. So when you look when this trend begun, I don't know what is the official English word for that, but here you see green, green, green. When that trade begins, your distance to the major trend line is 138. Still quite a lot, but not 200 pips. So that's, for my feeling, the start of the trend. That's when you really want to catch it. This area is a bit difficult, and when it's difficult, don't trade it, don't take the risk. Last but not least, gold. Gold's been moving up 1714 very quickly now, again below 1700, which was expected because it went very, very wild, dropped again, found some support here on the major trend line. Guys, those infinity trend lines, they are really key. They are really amazing. So here we have the break, the retest, and then I would buy. I didn't because it was overnight, so this was like a late evening on Wednesday, and when I saw on Thursday, I saw that it was already up, and I wouldn't buy it from there anymore because it was reaching the same levels as before. But this is a trade, so if you are in a different market, maybe you are in America or in Canada, you could have catch this because that's your trading time, right? For me, it's too late in the evening, but I missed this one. I wouldn't catch the drop because the market was kind of trying to go up. It should have found resistance here, sorry, support here, and then go up, but it didn't, it broke. And now the question for gold is, will it maybe go up to show that ceiling and then go down again? We have the 2021 low, very important, more mental point. Then we have 1664. And then we have 1626 again. So maybe the market goes there. At any point of this times, we can also see that the market's going to turn around again. So that is my 2 cents on gold. I'm honestly not in a trade, and I don't expect to be today, tomorrow. And it looks like there is a chance that the market just trying to get up, but has a difficult moving in a smooth direction to do so. So let's see how gold will evaluate during the week. I wish everybody a really, really great trading week. And next Monday, we will be back, hopefully with a live session from the office. I will double check my TradingView streaming opportunities there. And remember that that was okay. If not, I will do another video. And if you guys have any questions with YouTube, also you can move the questions below the video. I will come back at the end of the day and check them. And you can also message me on Telegram or Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.